I have a collective message on my table today. But before we begin, I'd like to first apologize for my dog if he gets loud. I'm sorry, it happens. But two, as you can probably see, I've got a new camera angle that I'm working with today. It's just easier for me. But I do have a camera setup coming. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to make it work yet. So, your overall message here is in relation to not an ending necessarily, but the celebration of one. So we have a Three of Cups here, which is a card of celebration. But this is, to me, paired with our moon in reverse, a celebration of an internal struggle. And I say that because the moon, as you may know, is a card of, well, the internal, your intuition, your inner space, going within, taking deep dives, and it could, it could also have to do with emotional space and whatnot. But to me, this is more of like an internal, like the word that keeps coming up is battle, or struggle. So something that you've had on your mind that you've been working through, right? And the Three of Cups, I think it's obvious in itself of a celebration of a maybe hard times. It could, it could be an ending to like a famine, right? Well, I don't think this is quite so literal. That's what the card could depict. It could be well, I mean, it could even just be like a wedding celebration or a springtime celebration or whatever. But there's obviously, clearly, abundance in this picture. So, but it's paired with this moon, and as I already said, it feels very internal to me. And it feels like a battle because if you look at it in the upright, these people are wielding weapons and they look like they're worn and weary and have had a bit of a struggle. And then there's this group behind them that they're facing as if, maybe these are the people they've been battling. I don't know. It gives me very, very Five of Swords energy though. In fact, the depiction is almost exactly what the Five of Swords is in the traditional deck, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. The landscape is very different though. It's a very barren landscape. Well, I guess maybe they both are, but either way, the landscape is different. We've got a moon, of course, but it's in the reverse. And so I feel like this paired with the Three of Cups, this struggle is over. It's ended. So in your past position, we have the Magician. And the Magician well, I mean, if you look at it in the modern sense, he makes something out of nothing, right? He takes something out of thin air and just voila, right? That's not what this Magician does. This Magician, well, I mean, I guess it is. It may appear that way, but in reality, in the background, behind the scenes, he is taking his skills, his abilities, his wisdom, and his knowledge, and he's using that to create something. This is very creative energy, and it's very physical. So whatever it is you've created here in your past, it's very 3D, right? It's tangible. And because it's paired with this particular Page of Swords, this acolyte of air, and the equilibrium, which is the Justice, this Page of air, Page of Swords, has a ladder in it. And anytime I see something with, sorry, I've got a fly. Anytime I see something with a a ladder or a staircase or a stairwell, whatever. It feels like an elevation. But I also couldn't help but notice, so to me that feels like whatever this is in your past that you've manifested, that you've created, is elevating you. But I also notice all of the you can hear my dog snoring in the background. I can see all of these projects, these things that this page is dabbling in, much like a magician does, right? He's got all this, these interests, these hobbies, these things that he's trying to master. Which brings me to the magician is a master, right? He's the master manifester. While the page of air, the page of swords, is a beginner, right? All pages are. This one in particular has a beginner mindset. And so it's like, I want to say he's humble, and so I feel like there's this mastery, but also a knowing of, I'm a beginner. I'm doing good, but like I'm still the apprentice, right? And so it's paired with this Justice card, which I can't help but notice the heart in one side of her scale. And it makes me feel as if there is a balancing of the mind with the page of air and the heart with the equilibrium, with the Justice. And in order to achieve balance, there must be I don't know how to phrase this. All of the elements of success are required to achieve balance. And again, that is what the magician does. He takes earth, air, fire, water, and creates. Which brings me to our current position. The magician creates out of his, again, skills and knowledge, right? The Ace of Wands is also a card of creation. It's a card of something new, something also tangible, which to me, I believe this is what you are creating. But it is a creation of something out of nothing. But this is from the hand of God, right? The hand of the universe. If you see the Ace of Wands in the traditional deck, there's a hand coming out of a cloud, like offering this wand. And that's considered the hand of God, the hand of creation. And so in your current position, it is very much like working with the universe to create. Whereas with the magician, it was more working with your own abilities. Here, we're working with the universe. We are allowing things to come in, allowing creation to just take place, right? It's paired with the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, before I go on to the Wheel of Fortune, I just want to point out that we have one lamniscate here very clearly, and then the implication of one in the Wheel of Fortune. And I say, let me just show you both of them. So here we have one above the cat's head. Now, that has lots of different meanings, and if you want to dive deep into that, you can do that on your own. But for me today, it's just giving me that collective consciousness feeling of we're all connected, right? And not that we're all connected has anything to do with your reading, but it solidifies that this is coming from the universe. Because to me, we are all a part of the universe, right? We're all one. And so this creation is coming from the universe. And then here, again, I said there's the implication of the lamnescate here with this man who's juggling. And it's the Two of Pentacles. I don't know the word I was trying to say, but I was going to say the epitome, but that's not what I meant. I guess it is. It's the epitome of the Two of Pentacles, right? Where he's juggling the Two Pentacles, and it makes the shape of the lamnescate. Now, why that is significant to me is because typically the magician has one above his head, but in this depiction he does not. And so I feel like this is just a continuation. It's letting us know that this is a continuation of your manifestation, but that the hand of God has a part to play in this. And it hits the point home that the Wheel of Fortune does, because the Wheel of Fortune, again, is the will of God, or the will of the universe, the will of spirit. And so this is, while you are making strides, you're putting the effort in, you're not doing it alone. This isn't, you're being assisted, you're being guided in this direction. And again, so I got, when I was reading this, before I turned the camera on, I got this homophone will, right? It's a Wheel of Fortune, but this current position is God's will. And so it led me to where there's a will, there's a way, which is also how I feel with the Wheel of Fortune. Like you, even though, yes, this is God's will, you have the ability to turn it around, right? I don't want to say turn your life around. This doesn't feel like a turn your life around type of reading. It feels, well, it does, but not in the sense of like, well, I guess it could mean anything. And I don't want to put any, I don't want to insert my own opinion here. But let's just go with that, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a desire to make a change, there is a way. And while, yes, the universe has a big part to play in this, you're not powerless. There is this man here down in like a tenement type situation, is being completely, I guess, ignored by these people. And I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Maybe that's how you feel. But he has the ability to come up here and be with these people, to elevate. Again, there's that stairwell, much like the ladder here. He has the ability to elevate his situation, his circumstances. All he has to do is climb this staircase. And yes, while it may be difficult, it's doable. And I think that's where you are. You're in this elevation trajectory with the help of the universe, spirit, but you're not sitting idly by. You are actively creating, you are actively manifesting and working towards this elevation. So that brings us into our future placement. So that here in between present and future, there's some sort of disconnect. And I say that because we go from all this creation here in the past and present And then there comes all this reversal energy. So you start with the Six of Cups in reverse. And this Six of Cups, it gives me the feeling, because it's in reverse, of a desire to return to innocence. And if it were in the upright, I would say that there is a return to innocence. But because it's in the reverse, I think there's a desire to do so. And when I say innocence, I don't mean lack of guilt. I mean, you know, the feeling you had when you were a kid, you just felt free and well, I don't know if you did, but I know I did. There was a lot of, I thought, you know, I guess we think when we're young that there's this oppression, or like, oh, I wish I were an adult or whatever, which I have had those thoughts. But looking back on my childhood, there was this freedom and lack of responsibility, you know, like the stuff that we find important now, or we think is important, because I don't know that a lot of it is. It didn't matter back then. None of that mattered. All that mattered was waking up and living our day and having a good time. And I think there's that desire to get back to that. Now, I don't mean there's a desire again to be a child again, but maybe to have that childlike sense of wonder or that joy. And I see, though, that it can be done. Like, you can get there. I don't see a blockage. I see no blockages. But I do see I sort of wonder if that's where this moon here is coming in, because this is your overall energy, right? This moon with the Three of Cups. I do see a battle ahead, a struggle, not a battle, maybe not like a physical battle. This is between you and you. This is not between this is in no relation. I don't see any other people here. But the Three of Cups and the Six of Cups are very similar in their, you see that their little, I don't know if that's called a headdress. Yeah. So their little headdresses here are very similar. They're not on their head here in the Six of Cups, but they exist. They are on the cups. And, well, I guess that's just a bouquet, but it feels, the way it looks is more, circular or whatever. And so I feel like this is achievable, but it's not going to come without a struggle. We have the Six of Air in reverse with the Ace of Water in reverse. The Six of Air, again, has a staircase leading to an open door. So this door is open to you, but because it's in the reverse, it's going to be a difficult journey to get there. The Six of Air is the Six of Swords. In the traditional deck, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the typical meaning of this card is moving on to calmer waters. And so I think that this is going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a difficult journey. But it's here in your future. It's there for the taking. It's there for the achieving. It's just going to take out a lot out of you, okay? But I think that this is it's something worth giving that energy to. And so we have the Ace of Water with this Six of Air also in the reverse. So it's the Ace of Cups. And again, like there's a staircase. This person let me turn it in the upright so that you can see it. There's this staircase here. And this person, you can see where they've come from. They've come a long way. And they're heading towards this staircase to get to their destination. But I don't know if you can see, they are in a pool of water here. And so with these two cards combined, you're going to tread water. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be choppy. waters that you're treading. It's not going to be an easy ride. But I mean, what in life worth achieving is, right? So there is a door open to you, but it's going to take work. All right, so I went ahead. I have to do the card shuffling and stuff off camera, and I like to get a cohesive idea of what I'm reading before I turn the camera on. So I went ahead and, but also in addition to that, I already recorded this once, but the camera angle was awful. It's still not great, I know, but it was so bad that I couldn't post it. But I'm going to post this one, whether it's good or not. And I apologize if it's bad, but I think the message is good, even though my dog is snoring in the background. So anyways, with that being said, I went ahead and pulled, which I normally would do on camera, your oracle cards. And they just wrapped up this reading so well. I just couldn't even believe it. You got solid. I'm reading from Between Worlds, and don't worry, the descriptions are short, which is one of the many reasons I love this deck. But you got, let's put it in this formation. You got Solitude and the Maker. I mean, as soon as I pulled out the Maker, I don't think I've ever pulled this card, but as soon as I did, I knew instantly that was the Magician. And then Solitude, of course, is probably the Moon. So we're going to start with Solitude. I don't remember where it's at, so. All right, Solitude. When there is silence, one finds the anchor of the universe within oneself. That's another thing. Okay. Another thing that I noticed with that sentence right there is that an anchor holds you down, right? It holds the boat down, the ship down. It holds it in place from being able to move. And so that sort of gave me the confirmation of your future placement of the treading water, right? So, which almost makes me wonder if solitude when there's silence, one finds the anchor of the universe within oneself. The anchor of the universe. So your current situation, I said, like, there's very much universal forces at play here. I don't know what that means, but I really, I'm going to have to deep dive into that one because this is a collective message, which means it's for me too. And so that might be something you want to contemplate on. But anyways, I'll keep going. That's from the Tao Te Ching, verse 37, in case you're interested. I have that on my bookshelf. I might go and look that up. Anyways, it says to turn away from one world is to turn toward another. Go inside. The temple of solitude is a generative place to pray. Away from the chaotic goings-on, the mind-body can reset, restore, and reimagine. There you can finally hear the voice of your own knowing. The voice of your own knowing. I told you in the very beginning with the acolyte of air and the equilibrium, it felt like a balancing of, I don't know if I said it, but I meant to say it, a balancing of your mental space, because the air is, your mental space, right? So it's like a balancing of the mind and the heart, which I don't know if I can't remember if I pointed this out or not. This is my second time recording this, so I apologize, but she's got a heart in one of her scales, and so it felt to me like a balancing of the mind and heart. And then here we have Away from the chaotic goings on, the mind-body can reset, restore, and reimagine. There you can finally hear the voice of your own knowing. So, let's read the Maker now. I don't typically get 2 cards, but today I did, and I shuffled, got 2 cards, and because I don't like getting 2 oracle cards, typically, I put them both back, and then I shuffled again and got 2 cards again, so I just gave up. The Maker. All right, I'm going to show you this card too. I'm going to try to move a little faster on this one. Because I think that it's just the Magician, and I think it's solidifying that. So we have the Maker, Aries, fire. A reality-bending, wiry character, the Maker channels their full energy into their craft. They have a boundless imagination as well as the skills to manifest unseen ideas into reality. The Maker is a vessel of creativity, ahead of their time. They prize their autonomy and authenticity above all else. They value the sacredness of their word and the potency of their work. Sometimes the Maker may suffer from their naturally impulsive nature or have trouble finishing projects. So I don't feel that. I know it says sometimes. I don't feel that here. I feel, well, maybe there could be an imbalance because, like I said, what did that say? A balancing. Sometimes the Maker may suffer from their naturally impulsive nature or have trouble finishing projects. There we go. That's what yeah. So that could be the case here in your future, your present and future, between your present and future placement. I don't really feel it, but I did say that there's like a disconnect here, and that could be it. But yeah, that's just the Magician. So that is your reading today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the dog snoring and the camera setup isn't too awful for you, but I hope to see you in the next video, and thanks for being here. Bye.